wondered why the weather is so hot recently? In this hot weather, all everyone could think of is how to cool themselves down. But have they ever thought of the ways they could do to help cool down the earth? Why has it been so scorching hot lately? The answer to the burning question is global warming. So, what is global warming? Global warming is a phenomenon where the average temperatures on the surface of the earth rises. This is an alarming issue as it will only bring consequences to earth and to us. Our planet is dying due to our selfish actions. It is only right if we clean up the mess we made for the brighter future on this planet that we call home. These news articles are proof that global warming are not beneficial to anybody and it will only cause destruction. If nothing is done to stop it, it will cost us more than our lives, but our only home.
So, based on the slide, global warming is the long-term alteration in Earth, climate, and weather patterns. It took nearly a century of research and data to convince the vast majority of the scientific community that human activity could alter the climate of our entire planet. The start of global warming is difficult to pinpoint, but it's generally agreed that it began in the late 19th century with the onset of the Industrial Revolution and the widespread burning of fossil fuels. The early 1980s would mark a sharp increase in global temperatures. Many experts point to 1988 as a critical turning point when watershed events placed global warming in the spotlight. So based on the graph in the slide, according to an analysis by NASA, the past 9 years have been the warmest years since modern record keeping began in 1880. The Earth in 2022 was about 2 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than the late 19th century average. Lastly, a video comparison is attached to this slide to show how serious and alarming the global warming trend is throughout the years, specifically from 1970 to 2019.
The causes of global warming are, as a result of the Industrial Revolution that kicked off in the mid-1700s, the Earth's surface is warming up and had never seen before rate. A major reason for the rise in temperatures is the increase in concentration of greenhouse gases in the Earth's atmosphere. These cause our planet to retain heat from the sun. Greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide and methane are released into the atmosphere when fossil fuels are burned. Trees and oceans absorb carbon dioxide but can't handle the large amounts that are now building in the Earth's atmosphere. And because our forests are shrinking, even less carbon dioxide is absorbed.
Global warming is proven detrimental both to the environment and also human beings. The melting of poles caused by the heat waves emitted by the sun will strike the icebergs and glaciers, causing it to melt, and sea levels would in turn increase. As heat pulls water out of the earth through evaporation, soil of all terrain would crack of dust. Oxygen and water reservoirs would be wiped off. At this point you may be wondering, how about the human body? Well, the human homeostasis is relatively a powerful mechanism. However, extreme increase in the body temperature would result in an absurd level of compensatory mechanism. Blood vessels dilate excessively to force out heat, and the blood pressure then drops abruptly. Sweat is rapidly produced, point of dehydration, and the body loses electrolytes along with it. And thus the heart. It'll try to push circulation beyond limits to induce heat loss, beating itself into tachycardia. Vital organs begin to malfunction and the body is sentenced to seizure and finally stroke.
So, how do we beat the heat? Here are some tips that we can follow to keep our body cool. First and foremost, we must drink plenty of fluids regardless of our activity levels and even when we're not thirsty. Secondly, since the heat is causing us to sweat a lot, drinking isotonic drinks is also highly recommended to replace the salts and minerals that were lost throughout the day. In order to reduce the risk of dehydration, we need to avoid drinks that contain caffeine, alcohol, and even drinks with high sugar content. Fourthly, we are advised to stay in air-conditioned areas or in the shade as much as possible. If you are required to work outside in the heat, make sure to increase your fluid intake and take frequent breaks in the shade to avoid heat stroke. Besides that, do avoid staying inside enclosed spaces for a long time. Last but not least, make sure that our attires are loose, airy, and light-colored. We can also wear large hats or carry umbrellas to cover our heat from direct exposure to sunlight.
The most important step to do if we encounter anyone having a heat stroke is calling an ambulance. However, there are a few first aid steps that can be done while waiting for help to arrive. During heat stroke, first aids are very important to avoid brain damage or organ failure. First of all, if we see anyone having a heat stroke, we need to move them to a cooler place, such as under an umbrella or an air-conditioned room. Next, remove any unnecessary items such as jackets, socks or shoes. Wearing all these layers of clothes will only increase the body temperature, and that's not what we want. If the person is conscious, give them a cool water or an energy drink. Drinking water will help to keep them hydrated while waiting for the ambulance. Lastly, we can cool down the body by applying ice packs on the skin to help reducing the body's heat. Taking an ice bath or a cool shower also helps in cooling down the body.
The next one is what we can do to reduce our global warming. The first one, to save energy at home, we can switch our light bulbs into LED light bulbs or energy-efficient electrical appliance. Next, we can reduce the use of car. We can consider to walk, carpool or use bike or public transport. The next one is to reduce, reuse, repair and recycle. We can buy fewer things or shop at a second-hand shop or repair what we can do. And the next one is to speak up. We can create awareness by joining any campaign to create awareness within the society.
In conclusion, climate change is one of the most insignificant problems that the world is facing at the moment. Global warming is increasing day by day. If global warming cannot be prevented, the world will face undesirable consequences. Thus, humans must take initiative to slow down global warming as soon as possible and take care of the earth. Thank you.